Hello, I'm Holly Henn. Today I'm here talking with one of our partners, PMWeb, Ken Damon, and we're going to talk about project management information systems.
I am Ken Damon, Director of the product at PMWeb. Thanks very much for inviting me, Holly. It's very nice to be here with you today. Let me just give you a little sense of who I am. I started in the construction industry actually as a carpenter, pounding nails. Kind of worked my way up the ladder, I guess literally and figuratively. Became a project manager and ultimately sort of settled into a role as controller, CTO for general contracting firms. I did that for quite a while. And then one day I sort of realized I kind of enjoy solving other people's problems more than my own. So I joined a consulting company. This firm consulted with owner-operators in the construction realm. At the time, our role was basically to instruct these people on what software they should be using, what systems they should create, what business processes they should build. And then we had to sort of patch things together because back then there was no platform that actually directly addressed owner-operators' needs. No one was actually working directly for owner-operators. So that's what we did until one day one of our clients came to us and said, hey, why don't you guys just build your own solution that actually does everything we needed to do? You know what we need. Why don't you go create it? And so we did. We started developing PMWeb, the software. And in fact, we had a lot of very early success, and that was great. It allowed us to actually phase out the consulting company, and we transitioned to PMWeb, the software company. And we've been going strong ever since.
That's just a really awesome story, and it's not one that I've heard before. So thank you for sharing that about yourself.
Sure.
I find it so interesting when people who come from the field get into the software because that's the only way the software is going to get better. It's the only way the software will be responsive and easy to use and make sense.
And it's always been one of our, I guess, competitive advantages. We're not software developers who decided to go into construction. We were founded as people who are experts in the actual technical needs, people with a lot of experience, direct experience. And we were also directly driven by our clients' requests in terms of what they needed, when they needed it, how it all needed to fit together, things like that. So that's something that's always set us apart, I think. Didn't just invent software that does project management. We were solving directly, trying to solve problems that existed by building new tools.
Yes. And I think that's also why the first time I saw PMWeb work and was introduced to the software, I instantly recognized how intuitive it is to use. So simple. Easy to find the things that you are looking for. Easy to enter the information into the system. Easy to pull the information out of the system. That is what I personally like most about PMWeb. And coming from construction, coming from general contractors, working in the field as a project manager, having to answer to executives with the information that they want, having to be able to pull information out of our varied systems that I've used throughout the years to try to help support my superintendent and the decisions that they need to make with resources. PMWeb pulls all of it together well.
Thank you. Glad that is really the ultimate goal. And we hear that from clients too. A lot of applications are out there. A lot of applications are kind of black holes to the application, to the software, where all you're doing is dumping stuff into it day after day, hour after hour, and not getting much in return. As you're saying, you've got to have that information back. That's the whole point. If you're just doing it as an exercise of data entry, why? Why? You gotta rethink that.
Let's talk a little bit about what your day-to-day looks like now within the PMWeb organization.
The reason I come to work every day is I am responsible for helping define the roadmap, the general direction of PMWeb, and I also develop the user experience. So how are users interfacing with the software? What tools are they using? How are they using them? In what sequence do they fit together? Things like that. So to do those two things, to define the roadmap as well as define how users interact with it, I have to spend a lot of time with clients, understanding their needs, because those are continuing to evolve, of course, as well as doing a lot of research into what technical enhancements are out there, what new tools do we have available that will allow us to achieve new objectives and things like that. So it's kind of a mix of directly hearing from people in the field doing this every day, as well as I'm supposed to look ahead. I'm supposed to anticipate a lot of those needs and find new ways to solve problems before people even know that they are problems.
Touching on your customers, what are the industries that you predominantly serve?
As I said earlier, we started specifically for owner-operators. Of course, we kind of realized over the years that is a huge term, because anybody who owns anything or anybody who operates anything is an owner-operator technically. So we are actually across every industry. We are not limited by any sort of vertical silos or walls or anything like that. Anyone who really needs project management for anything is eligible to use PMWeb. Our main goal is to serve owner-operators, but at the same time, because we do all the things that owner-operators need, general contractors and subcontractors are also eligible to use PMWeb, because we have all the tools and we have that business process that flows from beginning to end. And if you think about it, everybody has the same concerns, everybody has the same needs. Scales may change, parameters change, but in the end, we're all trying to accomplish the same things by using any kind of project control system, no matter what it is. These days, as I said, we serve a whole range of industries. So that includes folks like, real estate developers, for example, as well as other organizations, anybody that manages any kind of portfolio of projects. So higher education, the tech world, healthcare, government, entertainment. We have a lot of depth and breadth in all of those areas. And as I said, there's really no limitation. There's no hard wall between us and any other industry out there.
That was something I noticed coming into the PMWeb partnership, was there's an emphasis on owners and enterprise type structures, understanding a little bit more about how PMWeb came to be. That makes a lot more sense. But when I was using the tool, I always thought that this is a great general contracting tool.
Absolutely.
This is not just for owners building projects. Like, this would be perfect for any larger GC. And you don't necessarily have to be a large GC, because PMWeb makes it so easy for somebody to pick which pieces of the program they want, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to buy all the modules. You have that flexibility of really picking and then growing.
Right. Exactly. And we've deliberately done that. But when you think about an owner, they need that full range of stuff, because owners deal with RFIs, but owners also deal with commitments. Owners deal with planning. Owners deal with invoicing. All of these things, schedules, all of this stuff, which PMWeb does in one centralized platform, owners have to do. But all of those things are also done by GCs. They're also done by subs, in fact.
Yes.
It's just that they're slotted together in different ways. And as you said, because PMWeb's modular, for example, you can actually pick and choose what tools you have to use. But they all play a role, and they're all connected together.